Learn to act as if nothing bothers you. There comes a point in your life when you realize not every battle deserves your energy, not every opinion deserves your reaction, and not every storm deserves your attention. In a world that constantly tries to provoke, distract, and overwhelm you, the real power is in learning to act as if nothing bothers you. Not because you don't feel, not because you don't care, but because you've matured enough to protect your peace. Emotional control is the real flex at opening calm and powerful in a world that constantly tests your patience, challenges your peace, and pushes your buttons. Emotional control is the real flex. Anyone can get angry, anyone can clap back, anyone can explode when things go wrong, but it takes a different kind of strength to stay calm, composed, and centered while the world tries to pull you in every direction. Emotional control doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you've trained yourself to lead your emotions, not be led by them. It means your peace is no longer for sale, and when you master that, that's real power. Power is calm under pressure. Think about the strongest people you admire. They're not the loudest in the room. They're not the ones throwing punches, yelling back, or letting every challenge shake them. No, the strongest ones are calm, clear, and calculated. That's because emotional control isn't weakness, it's dominance over yourself. When you keep your cool under fire, when you don't let your emotions hijack your decisions, you're telling the world, I am not a slave to what happens around me. You become the eye of the storm, steady in the middle of chaos. Emotional intelligence beats raw emotion. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Reacting is emotional, it's fast, impulsive, often regrettable. But responding, that's intelligent, that's thoughtful. That's power with purpose. You don't win battles by being the loudest. You win by being the wisest. When someone disrespects you, the world tells you to snap. But emotional control tells you, they don't have that much power over me. When life disappoints you, society says give up, fall apart. But emotional discipline says, this storm isn't here to break me, it's here to build me. The people who lead, inspire, and transform this world, they've learned how to master their inner world first. You can't control life, but you can control you. Life is unpredictable. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will shake you. But here's the truth. Your power is not in what happens to you, it's in how you respond. If you give every situation access to your emotions, you'll live in a constant state of stress and exhaustion. That's not strength, that's instability. But when you control your emotions, you regain control of your life. You stop being a puppet to other people's opinions. You stop letting temporary things dictate your permanent mindset. You can't stop the storm, but you can become the anchor, and the anchor never apologizes for staying grounded. Emotional control is a skill. Train it daily. No one wakes up one day with unshakable emotional control. It's a muscle, and it must be trained. You train it every time you pause before speaking out of anger, every time you choose silence over an argument, every time you take a breath and say, this isn't worth my peace. The world may see you're calm and think you're unbothered, but behind that calm is discipline, self-awareness, and maturity that took years to build. You've fought private battles, you've walked away from chaos, you've chosen growth over ego. That's not weakness, that's warrior-level control. The real flex is when peace becomes your reaction. We live in a culture that glorifies clapping back, going off, and showing out. But that's surface-level power, temporary dominance. Emotional control is deeper than that. The real flex is being in a situation that used to break you, and this time, you smile and keep walking. The real flex is hearing the disrespect, feeling the anger, but choosing to respond with grace. The real flex is living in such deep alignment with your purpose that nothing can pull you out of character, because you've worked too hard on your peace to hand it over to something petty. The world doesn't need more people who can fight. It needs more people who can lead with clarity, control, and calm. Empower and inspire, so next time you're tested, don't ask, how should I react? Ask, what would the strongest version of me do right now? Hold your peace like a crown. Guard your emotions like treasure. And when chaos comes knocking, let your stillness speak louder than your words ever could. Because emotional control is the real flex. Not everyone has it, but the ones who do. They don't just survive life, they master it. Protect your peace like it's priceless. Opening, grounded, and reflective tone, let me ask you something. What's the one thing in your life that you can't buy, can't replace, and can't afford to lose? It's not your money, it's not your job, it's not even your time, it's your peace, because peace is the foundation of clarity. Peace is the birthplace of strength, and peace is the home where purpose lives. Without peace, everything else crumbles. That's why I'm here to tell you protect your peace like it's priceless, because it is. Peace is the foundation of a powerful life. You can have success, influence, opportunities, but if your inner world is in chaos, it will all collapse eventually. Peace isn't about silence. It's not about avoiding problems. Peace is the inner stillness you carry despite the noise, despite the conflict, despite the pressure. It's knowing who you are so deeply that nothing outside of you can disturb what's within you. People chase money, fame, and validation, but overlook peace until they lose it. And once it's gone, you realize no amount of status can replace sanity, so build your life on peace, make it your foundation. Make it your non-negotiable. Don't let people steal what they didn't help you build. Your peace is personal. Your journey is sacred, and not everyone deserves access to it. Let me be clear, if someone didn't help you build your peace, don't let them come in and destroy it. Some people bring noise wherever they go, drama, negativity, manipulation, disrespect, and they expect you to carry the weight of their chaos, but you're not required to hold what breaks you. You're not obligated to entertain what drains you, and you don't owe your energy to anyone who disrespects your peace. Cut the cords, set the boundaries, block the noise, because your peace is too expensive to waste on people who don't value it. Peace isn't passive, it's a daily choice. Protecting your peace doesn't mean you sit back and wait for life to be easy. No, peace is something you fight for, something you guard daily. It looks like walking away from unnecessary arguments. It looks like turning off your phone when your mind needs a break. It looks like praying when anxiety tries to take over. It looks like saying no to what doesn't align with your values. Peace is power under control. It's choosing stillness when you could choose noise. It's choosing calm when you could choose chaos. Every day you're faced with a choice. Will I protect my peace or surrender it to the storm? Make the choice that honors your healing. Every time, boundaries are the gatekeepers of peace. If peace is your house, boundaries are the locks on your doors. You can't protect your peace without boundaries. Boundaries with your time, boundaries with your energy, boundaries with your space, boundaries with your heart. Not everyone deserves your access. Not every situation needs your attention, and not every invitation requires your presence. When you set boundaries, you're not being rude, you're being responsible. You're saying, I love myself enough not to entertain what's not healthy for me. And anyone who truly values you will honor your boundaries, not challenge them. Protecting your peace is the key to purpose. You can't hear your calling if your mind is loud with distractions. You can't grow if your spirit is constantly agitated. You can't lead if your soul is exhausted. That's why protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's strategic. You need peace to focus. You need peace to create. You need peace to rise. The enemy of your destiny is often disguised as distraction. And many times, those distractions come dressed as people, habits, and thoughts that look familiar, but serve no purpose. Let them go, because when you protect your peace, you protect your power, and when you protect your power, you unlock your purpose. Peace is not a luxury. Peace is your foundation, your right, your responsibility. So protect it like it's priceless, because it is. Protect it from the noise, protect it from the drama, protect it from anything that costs you your calm, and remember this, anything that costs you your peace is too expensive. So build your boundaries, keep your space sacred, and move with grace. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not everything needs your energy. Protect your peace and you protect your purpose, your joy, and your future. Not every battle deserves your energy. Opening, grounded, and powerful life will always give you reasons to fight, to argue, to prove, to defend, to react. But the truth is not every battle deserves your energy. Some battles are distractions. Some are emotional traps. Some are disguised tests designed to pull you off your path. And if you're not wise, you'll spend your whole life swinging at things that don't matter, wasting energy on things that don't build you, draining your power on people who don't value you. There is a deeper strength, a higher wisdom in learning to let it go. Your energy is not unlimited. Spend it wisely, let's be honest. You only have so much energy in a day, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And where you choose to invest that energy will determine the quality of your life. Every moment you spend arguing with someone who's not listening. Every second spent defending yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Every ounce of energy spent chasing petty battles, that's energy you're not using to build, to grow, to create, or to heal. You don't need to show up to every argument. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. You don't need to win every fight. Sometimes the win is walking away with your peace. Some battles are setups to distract you from your purpose. Here's something most people miss. Not all battles are meant to be fought. Some are meant to distract you, derail you, or delay you. The enemy of your progress doesn't always come as failure. Sometimes it comes as a meaningless argument, a petty offense, or a need to be right. You're on a mission, chasing purpose, building your future, and then a text message pulls you into an argument that serves no purpose. A comment online makes you want to defend yourself. Someone criticizes your character, and your first instinct is to respond. But that's the trap. If it costs you your peace, your focus, or your forward motion, it's not your battle. Let them talk, let them assume, let them underestimate you. You've got better things to do. Maturity is knowing when to be silent. You know what real strength looks like. Not in raising your voice, but in controlling it. Not in fighting every attack, but in choosing your battles. Maturity is realizing you don't need to react to everything that offends you. You don't have to fix every misunderstanding. You don't have to address every lie. You don't have to get even. You just have to get better. Your silence doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're focused. It means you've mastered your emotions. It means you don't have time to entertain things that won't matter 5 minutes from now, let alone 5 years. Peace is greater than proving a point. You could win the argument. And lose your peace, you could prove your point. And lose your purpose, you could fight the battle. And lose your time, your focus, your joy. So ask yourself, is it worth it? Sometimes peace means you walk away. Sometimes strength means you stay quiet. Sometimes the most powerful move is to do nothing at all. Why? Because your future is more valuable than your pride. Your calling is more important than being right. Your destiny is too great to be dragged into every emotional war that calls your name. Choose battles that build, not break. Let's be clear, not every battle is bad. There are fights worth engaging in, the battles that build you, stretch you, grow you. Standing up for your values, defending the voiceless, fighting for your healing, pushing for your goals, that's worth it. But petty drama, gossip, jealousy, criticism, ego, that's a battle that breaks, not builds. You've got to develop the wisdom to know the difference, when to speak and when to stay silent, when to fight and when to walk, when to stand firm and when to let it slide. Because the ultimate goal is not to fight everything, it's to fight for what matters. So the next time you're tempted to react, to clap back, to get pulled into something small and loud, pause. Ask yourself, does this serve my peace? Does this protect my energy? Does this move me toward my purpose? If the answer is no, then that battle doesn't deserve you. You weren't built to fight every fight. You were built to rise, to lead, to grow, to walk away when walking away is wisdom. Not every battle deserves your energy. Save it for what matters. Guard your peace like treasure, and rise above what's beneath you. Because elevation requires discipline, and your energy is too expensive to waste. Your silence is louder than their noise, at opening calm, but commanding tone in a world full of noise, full of opinions, criticism, drama, and distractions. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Yes, your silence can be your strength, because here's the truth. Your silence is louder than their noise. It speaks volumes, it sets boundaries, it commands respect, and it protects what matters most, your peace, your focus, your purpose. When you stop explaining, stop defending, stop reacting, you step into a higher level of power, the kind of power that doesn't beg to be heard because it already speaks through presence. Silence is a choice, not weakness, let's get this clear. Silence is not silence because you don't have a voice. It's silence because you know when and when not to use it. People will try to provoke you. They'll throw words at you to trigger a reaction. They'll gossip, criticize, lie, or challenge you just to pull you down, but your silence says, I'm not on your level anymore. When you choose not to respond, you're not surrendering, you're rising. You're saying, my peace is more important than this argument. My focus is more valuable than your distraction. My purpose is bigger than your noise. Silence doesn't mean you lost. It means you've already won by refusing to play their game. Every reaction costs you something. Every time you react emotionally to someone's nonsense, it costs you. It costs your time. It costs your energy. It costs your peace. And most of the time, the people trying to pull you into drama aren't doing it because they want resolution. They're doing it because they want your attention. They want to know they can get to you, that they can shake your confidence, that they can steal your peace. Don't give them the satisfaction. Your silence is not avoidance, it's protection. It's wisdom, it's maturity. Not everything needs to be responded to. Not everyone needs to be corrected. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Silence commands respect in ways words. Cannot you ever notice how the most powerful people rarely over-explain? They speak when it's necessary, they act when it matters, and most of the time they let their presence speak louder than their words. When you stop over-explaining, when you stop defending your every move, when you stop trying to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding you, you create mystery, you create distance, and you create respect. People begin to realize they don't need to speak to prove their worth, because your silence carries more weight than their noise ever could. Silence protects what you're building. Noise is a distraction. And if you want to build something real, a vision, a purpose, a legacy, you can't respond to every voice that calls your name. Sometimes the noise is meant to stop your momentum. That's why you have to learn to move in silence, to build without broadcasting, to grow without explaining, to heal without posting. The more private you become, the more powerful you become. Your silence creates space for God to work, for your goals to grow, and for your strength to multiply. While they're busy talking, you're busy transforming. Let them talk, you just keep moving. People will talk. Let them gossip, let them lie, let them assume, let them judge what they don't understand. They need the noise to feel powerful, you don't. You've reached a place in your life where their opinions can't pay your bills. Their approval can't build your dreams, and their comments can't stop your calling. Let your results speak. Let your growth speak. Let your character speak, because the truth is, when you stop talking and start doing, the silence becomes undeniable. You become undeniable. They'll ask why you stopped responding, why you stopped arguing, why you stopped showing up to fights you've outgrown, and your silence will say everything. So when the noise rises around you, don't panic, don't defend, don't shrink, just breathe. Stay grounded and let your silence speak, because your silence says, I know who I am. I don't chase attention, I chase growth. I'm not here to prove, I'm here to elevate. And that kind of silence, that's loud enough to be heard without a word. So remember this, your silence is louder than their noise. Let them talk. You just keep rising. Unbothered doesn't mean you don't care, it means you're focused. Opening, confident, and clarifying tone. There's a difference between being heartless and being focused. There's a difference between not caring and choosing what to care about. We live in a world where being unbothered is misunderstood. People think if you're not reacting, not chasing approval, not explaining yourself, then you must not care. But let's set the record straight. Unbothered doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're focused. It means you've grown, you've healed, you've matured to a level where your attention is no longer available for nonsense. Your time is too valuable. Your peace is too expensive. Your purpose is too important. And you've realized you don't need to respond to everything that tries to distract you. 1. Being unbothered is a sign of maturity, not coldness. Let's be clear, being unbothered doesn't mean you've shut down emotionally. It means you've grown emotionally. It means you've stopped giving front row seats in your life to people who only came to throw shade. You've stopped opening the door to situations that drain your energy. You've learned how to pause before reacting, how to prioritize your peace over your pride, and how to choose growth over drama. You still care deeply, but only about things that deserve your care. You care about your family. You care about your dreams. You care about your healing, your legacy, your mental well-being. You just don't care to argue over things that won't matter tomorrow. You don't care to chase validation from people who don't even know your worth. You don't care to attend battles that threaten your progress. That's not cold, that's wisdom. 2. Focus requires selective attention. To be focused means to be intentional about where your energy goes. You can't be focused and easily offended. You can't be focused and constantly distracted. You can't be focused and caught up in every rumor, every post, every opinion. When you're really focused, some things simply stop bothering you. Not because they don't exist, but because they're no longer relevant to your mission. You don't have time to respond to everything. You're building something. You're healing from something. You're chasing something bigger than the noise. Focus sharpens your vision and filters your battles. And when your vision gets clearer, your tolerance for nonsense gets smaller. 3. You don't have to prove you're unbothered, just be it. In today's culture, being unbothered has become a performance, a mask, a caption, a defense mechanism. But true peace doesn't have to prove itself. True unbothered energy is quiet, grounded, and centered. You don't post about how calm you are, you just live in your peace. You don't announce that you're unaffected, you just move in silence. You don't argue to protect your image, you walk away to protect your energy. Because you've learned this. What people say about you is none of your business. And what matters most is not what they think, it's what you're becoming. 4. You're not cold, you're called. Sometimes when you level up, people think you've changed, and you have. You've become focused. You've become unavailable to distractions. You've become quiet about your moves and loud about your growth. They'll say you're distant. They'll say you're different. They'll say you're detached. But let them talk while you build, while you heal, while you elevate. You're not cold, you're called. You're not ignoring them, you're choosing you. You're not heartless, you've just learned that not everyone deserves access to your heart. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. 5. Protecting your energy is the key to progress. Here's the truth. You can't move forward if you're constantly pulled sideways. Every argument you avoid, every unnecessary conversation you walk away from, every distraction you ignore, it's not weakness, it's progress. You are no longer trying to be everywhere, do everything, and please everyone. You are moving with purpose, and that means making peace with the fact that you can't explain yourself to everybody. Being unbothered doesn't mean you don't care about the world. It means you care enough about your role in it that you refuse to let anything take you off course. So let them misunderstand you, let them mislabel your silence, let them mistake your stillness for not caring. You care, you're just focused, and you know what you're building can't afford unnecessary battles.